Welcome back. As we move toward electing a new president of the United States, attack ads and messages isolating certain races or cultures are often overtaking talk about policies to move the country forward. My next guest says it is getting in the way of getting the real messages out there. Kareem Abdul Jabbar is with us today, a basketball Hall of Famer, author of the new book, Mycroft Holmes, a modern take on Sherlock Holmes. And Kareem, it is wonderful to have you on the show today.
Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. I want to get to the book in a moment because I know you are a prolific writer. We've talked years ago about your children's book, so I'll get to that in a moment. But first I want to talk about what's going on in this election cycle, and that is the most recent comments from Dr. Ben Carson. He has backpedaled a bit, basically saying he would accept a Muslim in the White House so long as that person rejected Sharia law. We know that Sharia law means, killing homosexuals. Women are subservient to men. Tell me about Sharia law. You converted to Islam how many years ago?
In 1967, a long time ago. But Islam does not okay the things that you just mentioned, killing people, rape, all of these things that have been associated now with Sharia law. That's crazy. None of the people that have that criticism of Sharia law have checked out the law because it's not even for non-Muslims. Sharia law is for the ruling of an Islamic state. So Sharia law could never apply here in America because America is a very diverse place. So they've got it all wrong. They don't know what the law states actually, and they want to distort it in order to make Muslims the villain. And there's enough real villainy going on without people inventing it.
What has happened in this country that we are, in fact, tolerating, this kind of talk? Like, for example, what Donald Trump said about Mexicans.
Right. Well, I think that it's very frustrating when we're being attacked by people that we don't understand, and it's real easy to make up scenarios that justify our anger, our need to retaliate, our need to try to find some way to eliminate this threat. I understand that. But you can't do that in a way that takes a whole group of people and marks them for being targets of bigotry. It doesn't work. It ends up being more of a problem than a solution. And people have to get to that point where they understand that.
I wanted you to come on this program now for a long time because you and I have spoken in the past, and you've always been such a practical speaker about these issues. And I think most people don't realize how passionate you are about these subjects. For example, I don't think most people realize that your father was a New York City police officer. No,
they don't. And my grandfather also was a police officer.
Exactly. So you've got the NYPD in your blood, and yet look what's happening with the NYPD today. Under attack. There are way too many shootings in this country. Yeah. What do you have to say about this?
I think it's very unfortunate that the whole idea of an overuse of force can be applied just to a certain group. I have a lot of family that live in Brooklyn.
So do I.
And in Brownsville, and it's a very violent place. And they understand the need for policemen to be active there. But the police seem to overstep their mandate sometimes, and too many corpses are in the morgue for no good reason, and that's a problem that has to be dealt with. But we can't abandon our need and support for the police, but they have to try to find a way not to overstep the bounds when it comes to force.
Let me get to the book. You've written several children's books, and that's also why I was so impressed with you, because it's a passion of yours to educate our young people. This is your first novel, though.
Yes.
It's about Sherlock Holmes' brother.
Yes.
Tell us about the book.
The book is about Sherlock Holmes' brother, Mycroft, who has always been a mystery to people because he's not mentioned very often in the original canon of Arthur Conan Doyle's stories. But Mycroft is someone who is back in the shadows. Sherlock describes him as someone who is overweight and sedentary. He doesn't go anywhere except to his offices his apartment and the Diogenes Club, which he helped found. And the rule at the Diogenes Club is that you can't talk. And that's all we know about him. So it left a huge area for us to form his backstory. So we're talking about 20 years before Sherlock becomes the world's greatest consulting detective. We're talking about his brother, who has just graduated from Cambridge just 2 years on and has a great job at the British Foreign Office, and he's doing very well. He's an up-and-coming person in the Foreign Office, and people are very impressed with him. And his best friend, Cyrus Douglas, a gentleman from the West Indies, tells him that strange and horrible things are happening, and he has to go home to investigate it. And that starts us on our little adventure.
I know you've been very supportive of President Obama. Do you feel that the African American community needs to hold him to account in terms of their economic lives? They haven't had much success under his watch, which is surprising.
Well, for black Americans, it's been very difficult because President Obama is president for everybody. He's not just the African American president. So he has to deal with issues and policies that affect everyone, and he can't just devote himself to issues that only resonate within the black community. That is not his job, and I don't blame him. He's in a very difficult position, but he's tried to do what he can do, and I don't criticize him in that sense.
Kareem, it's great to have you on the show today.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to see you again.
My pleasure.
Kareem Abdul Jabbar.